introduction of guests, the member from Leeds Grenville.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce some municipal officials from my great riding of Leeds Grenville. From the township of Front of Young, Mayor Roger Haley. And from the township of Leeds and the Thousand Islands, Mayor Frank Kinsella. Deputy Mayor Heidi Connerow. And Councillors Geraldine Dixon and Bridget Lesage-Tyre. Welcome to Queen's Park.
Further introductions? Further introductions? It is now time for statements. The member from Leeds Grenville.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to call on the Premier to keep her promise that Ontarians get a say before a casino comes to their community. She needs to listen, because that's not happening in Eastern Ontario. Kingston Council and OLG are pursuing a new casino that would devastate two communities in my riding and go against the will of the vast majority of Kingstonians. The front page headline in Saturday's Whig Standard shouted what's in the hearts and minds of Kingston residents. Poll shows 60% oppose casino. This poll also showed an astounding 78% insist citizens get the final say in a referendum. Not OLG, not City Council, but the people. I remind the Premier that these people agree with the 3 members of her cabinet that supported our casino referendum bill. I would like to thank both the town of Gananoque and the township of Leeds and the Thousand Islands for their support. For 10 years, their communities have had a great partnership with OLG and the Thousand Islands Casino. Both sides prospered, and I want to thank the 2 councils for their great growth plan for the future. Instead, OLG is determined to plunder this casino from 2 communities who welcomed it with a 59% and a 62% support in a referendum, and take it to a city where 60% don't want it. Speaker, that is wrong. So I join Mayors Demchuk and Kinsella, their councils and their residents, and the people of Kingston in calling on the Premier to ensure it doesn't happen. Don't let OLG break your promise, Premier, by forcing a casino on Kingston.
Member statements?
No casino gang.
Member statements?
Roulette wheel is certain.
The member from Corey Green River.
Thank you, Speaker. This past weekend, I was on the picket line in Stevensville with my federal NDP MP Malcolm Allen and members of CEP Local 425G. These 100-plus office and plant workers were notified of a permanent layoff by their employer, Virtus Communications, a printing plant, in mid-January. They were laid off immediately. This U.S. company filed bankruptcy in the U.S., and now these workers, many of which have 35 years of seniority, are being denied severance pay to the tune of $2.7 million in total. The office workers have had their pension plans gutted by 50%, and all had promised health care benefits reduced. In some cases, both husband and wife have lost their jobs. These workers are guarding this plant 24 hours per day because it's their only ace in the hole. The printing equipment, paper and ink, still remains inside the building, a building that was purchased by another U.S. company, Quad Graphics. So, Speaker, if U.S. Virtus Communications is not responsible for the workers' severance pay, and Quad Graphics is not responsible for the workers' severance pay, who is going to ensure that Ontario workers' rights for severance pay is upheld? What is the Wynne Liberal government and the Harper Conservative government going to do to ensure that when foreign companies invest in this province and open in this province, that workers' rights are protected under provincial and federal employment legislation? The government is supposed to be there for the people.